So there's been this thing going around, and I know it's kind of been hyped up by the media, and I don't really know what to make of it, if it's going to be a big crisis or not. I don't think it will be, but monkeypox has been fucking going around. So there's actually this company, and it's called Bavarian Nordic, and it's based out of Denmark. And right now, it is the only company on the planet that is approved to make the monkeypox vaccine. So this is interesting because the World Health Organization declared monkeypox a crisis, and right now there are 14,000 confirmed cases in the United States and about 40,000 worldwide. So if this company is the only company approved to make these vaccines, even if they fast track it, right? If you remember, under Trump, there was that Operation Warp Speed that was done during COVID to rush out those vaccines, and that was with Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson and Johnson. So even if something like an Operation Warp Speed comes out and they do that with monkeypox, because let's say it does get worse, or some people do end up getting getting this or whatever. This is a company where they basically have a year of like a monopoly, because it's going to take them at least a year for these other companies to make the vaccines for monkeypox, I'd imagine, right? Basically, very similar to the time period it took for them to develop the COVID vaccines. So if you look at this company, you could actually buy shares in this company in the form of like an ADR, which is an American depository receipt. So it's basically a way that allows retail investors and people who invest in public markets to buy equity in foreign companies. So it'll be very interesting to kind of see what happens with this. But this is something worth keeping an eye on, because this thing could really go nuclear if the government decides that they're going to have a knee-jerk overreaction and buy like millions of fucking vials of this vaccine. And even if people don't take it, it doesn't really matter. If the government is stupid enough to buy like a billion fucking vials or however many vials, like, they're still going to make all this money in revenue. So it'll be interesting to see how this kind of transpires. But I don't think that the monkeypox thing, like that ailment, is going to be as severe or like as blown up as COVID. But I could totally see a situation where the government just overspends on vials of this shit and no one ends up taking them, and they don't really do anything with them.
Yeah, I don't think monkeypox is going to be bad as bad as the previous pandemic. It seems to be isolated to people who do certain activities with the opposite gender, and it doesn't seem to be spread through.
You mean with the same?
Oh yeah, the same gender. It doesn't seem to spread rapidly through organic means.
Yeah, but I still like that idea of potentially investing in something where it's like, the only bridge in town, like as Buffett calls it. There's like already a moat there. So Buffett described like his perfect investment as like you basically own the only bridge in town, and you charge whatever toll you want and people have to pay it. And I could totally see like that working in this company's favor. So it definitely is something worth looking into, potentially further. So it really is just going to kind of come down to what the government decides to do. I don't think it's going to come down to what the public wants to do or whatever the case may be in that sense. But it's really just going to come down to, will the government overreact and order a shitload of these fucking things? And right now, the demand for these monkeypox vaccines is so great that this company obviously can't keep up with demand. So now they're partnering with, I was just reading in the Wall Street Journal, they're partnering
Who's
with,
taking these shots?
I don't know. But here's the thing.
I don't see it at Walgreens or CVS. Where are these shots being given?
I don't know, but it's like a government set up like testing sites and vaccination sites. But I'll say this. They can't keep up with the demand for them, and they're actually partnering with manufacturing plants in the United States to be able to pump them out. So that's kind of where we're at now, which to me, after reading that, means like, okay, now this is big, because now it shows that there is demand for this fucking vaccine, which means that this company is going to make a fucking shitload of money. And the valuation is very high right now. It's up about like 40% in the last month. So the valuation is fucking absurd. But the thing is that it could very well go up even more. Like this is, it's really just going to come down to how does the government react to this. not even the taxpayers, not any of the constituents. It's literally going to be like, what is the government like? How do they react to this? And then not to get like too conspiratorial, but like there's also that aspect of like the government or certain officials within government. They'll probably get money on the back end with stuff like this. But you know what? I'll get into that a little bit. So like if Pfizer, uh, you know, if there's like a bill that's passed and they're gonna make 10 million vaccines of whatever, uh, and they're gonna approve Pfizer to be the manufacturer, Pfizer might kick back like 100, they might kick back like 10 million or 5 million or whatever to some of the big people who were like making this active push for this bill to be signed and passed. So, not to call out Nancy Pelosi, of course, because I don't think she would ever do such a thing. But that's it, one example. Or, Mitch McConnell or Mitt Romney or one of these other clowns, like a lot of these politicians, they get money on the back end from these corporations for helping to push changes in legislation.
Yeah. So what is this company called again? Bavarian what?
Bavarian Nordic. Yeah, that's the name of it. It's pretty interesting.
This should be something interesting to look into. But and keep your eyes on whether or not monkeypox becomes more prevalent and spreads.